So several of you asked for this, and now you're getting it. Recap of the ghost tours we gave at my home church in Connecticut over the weekend, Friday and Saturday. So, first time, invited the public in. The primary goal for this was to get people in to see the building and then tell some stories if they wish to hear them. So, had about 40 people come through over the 2 days and had some interesting people come in as well. Two mediums who gave their own impressions of what they felt and heard. So I also got some more detailed stories from some members who had their own encounters in the building. So here we go. So one of the members who reached out, she was former administrator, church administrator, sat in the main church office in the tower at the bottom, where we heard the whistling. I heard the whistling while changing the light fixture. She relayed the story that she was sitting there, this is about 20 years ago, right about the same time as the former associate pastor saw the man in the top hat walk by her office and saw a man walk into the kitchen in the auditorium while they were the only ones in the building. So she gave a more detailed story of her own experience. So she's in the office behind the desk. She said suddenly she felt a presence. So she looked up, and there's a man standing in the doorway outside the office, out in the hallway. And she said, a very tall man, very handsome, with dark hair. And she said, I know everyone sees the man with the top hat, but this wasn't him. This man did not have a hat on at all, looked a little bit more modern. So she looks up, says, oh, sir, can I help you with something? Hello, sir. Doesn't acknowledge her, doesn't look, and then proceeds to walk down the hallway into the auditorium towards the kitchen. She's like, sir, come back. She gets up, runs around, and runs into the auditorium. No one there. Goes down up and down the back hallway in the Sunday school building. No one. No one in the kitchen. She even went down the cellar stairs, and of course, there's no one down there. So, guess when the church started locking its front door during the day. Anyway, that was interesting. But not the man with the top hat. Someone else relayed that their son had been in the building a few years earlier during a festival held downtown, and he came in to use the bathroom. And on his way back out, of course, the bathroom's at the back in the Sunday school annex, comes back through the auditorium. As he's going through the auditorium, he sees a man with a stovepipe hat up in the balcony, just off the tower stairs where the associate pastor saw him. So we're guessing that's the town industrialist who built the church in 1902, the new sanctuary. But he would be very familiar with this building, and the room downstairs where we met, of course, is named after him. So anyway, that was another interesting account, more recent account. Of course, I've never seen him yet or encountered or felt him, but I'm thinking maybe he's residual because he doesn't seem to be interacting with anyone. I don't know. That's speculation. So two mediums went on the tour. One reported feeling in the upper hallway, Sunday school hallway, where I had the experience on the ladder, having a screw thrown at me while changing the ceiling light. She felt some anxiety. She felt there was a presence there. She felt very uneasy in that space. The second medium, who lived in the town, she relayed a few things. She thought that the spirit that our administrator saw in the hallway might be connected to her. But so far, she says no, it didn't look like a familiar person to her. So we don't know. She also felt that the drug addict who passed and we cleared from the daycare space 2 years previous, and they haven't had a problem since. I got confirmation 2 weeks ago before going out. No activity. She feels he's still around. So maybe we have some more work cut out for us to get him, Ben, to cross over. We will find out. However, giving the tours, we had about 20 people each day, and one couple came in first thing Saturday. A younger couple lived in town. They started talking about how their house in town seemed to have activity. And they captured some orbs on their ring cam out in the backyard, middle of winter, so there's no bugs flying around. Very solid white orb. He showed me the video. And then there's another orb appears and merges into that orb, and it just sits there, and it's solid white. So I'm not a big orbs person, but I don't know how else to explain that video. But as we're talking, the bottom of the tower stairs about to go up, we hear a very loud crash, bang, boom from the top floor up by the attic. I mean, it sounds like someone dropped something on the floor. We didn't feel any vibrations or anything, so we stop, look up. Hello? All right, we're coming up in a minute. So, as we start going up the stairs, he and a friend of mine who came up heard some voices muttering at that same place up on the third floor. We stop at the second floor for these tours, not going up in the attic. But that was interesting. She later did an EVP, and there was like a crash, bang, boom in the middle of the EVP. She thinks my name was called, but I need to download and analyze to see if I can hear my name being called. But anyway, that was very interesting. Additional activity, which I had gone through the building both mornings before we opened, and I explained to the spirits what we were doing. We're not here to disrespect, or we're not trying to conjure you up or do EVPs. This is not a ghost hunt. This is just a tour of the building to let people see it. So hopefully that calmed down at least a few of the spirits. Yeah. The hallway upstairs where I did the light fixture, like I said, one of the mediums felt some heart flutter, felt some anxiety. A friend of mine felt her heart fluttering a bit, like quick heartbeat, some anxiety in that space as well. And for whatever reason, that seems to be the most active area based on all the comments that I'm getting and my own experiences. So, not the old part of the building, the newer part of the building. So, don't know what that is yet, but I'd like to get one of the mediums back to walk through the building and see what else she can pick up in there. I did sit down. I was in there Saturday morning, put some motion sensors in the bathrooms up in that same hallway in the Sunday school annex. And afterwards, I, again explained what we were going to do. We're not here to conjure you up or harass you, bother you in any way. Be respectful. So I said, I never think to do an EVP or something to confirm anything. So I sat down on the floor in the hallway. And of course, I'm the only one in the building. And I run the recorder on the phone. And I say, okay, we're here doing ghost tours. If you object to this, please say something. If you want help, I'm here to listen. You can talk to me, just speak into this device. And I let it run a good 5 minutes. And I asked a couple questions, not a lot. I gave them adequate time to respond, and I played it back later outside the building and heard nothing. So I'm wondering how much of this is residual, how much of this is active at this point. So hopefully we'll get some more enlightenment if we bring some other people in to feel for themselves. But anyway, that was our experience. Two more experiences. Someone reached out a week ago before the event and said that they were a Boy Scout, which we have a troop that meets in the Parish House. They were in the Boy Scouts, I think the 1990s. It's been a while, but they would hear footsteps up and down the hallways at night when they're in their meeting. And then while I was sitting there, I took a breather outside. It was almost nonstop tours for 2 days. I sat out on the breezeway, on the steps, and just relaxing. And we have the floodlights up in the roof of the breezeway. The floodlight immediately in front of me starts flashing, not rapidly, as I blink on, off, on, off, on, and then it dims. It comes back up, then it dimmed again. So I said, I'm not taking any chances. All right, I see that you're here. Please don't burn out these expensive light bulbs for us, please. But anything you want to say, or you're just letting yourself be known. So I said, please don't burn out our light bulbs. So I sat out there for about 5 minutes, and this thing's going the whole time. I'm like, towards the end, I'm thinking, great, now I have to change another light bulb. So I went back inside, And the rest of the evening, that light was fine, still bright. Another one had burned out, which I'm sure was not paranormal, but this one was back up to full brightness again. So maybe it's paranormal, maybe it's not, but it was the only bulb of the six that was acting up. So those are the experiences from this weekend. So I think it went well enough. We may try to do it again next year. So if you missed this year, you may have an opportunity to come back and see these for yourself. But hope you enjoyed it. It was an interesting 2 days.